Greetings and welcome back to Factorio. I'm KatherineOfSky, the Belt Diva. So here is another time-lapse episode where we are basically doing a variety of things. I am entering into my locomotive and causing death and destruction as I'm going along. And already my locomotive is at like a third health. The first thing I want to do is deal with these biters up here. They keep destroying stuff. And so I grabbed some walls to replace what they have destroyed up here. I remembered a design that one of you guys sent me. Thank you so much, Brian, for bringing this interesting wall technique to my attention. This is like a tower defense kind of a structure, so that basically the biters have to weave through if they want to get close to the wall. I also replace the laser turrets over here and go and replace those walls in there since I'm no longer needing them. I'm trying to repair the locomotive, but for some reason it isn't working, and I'm thinking maybe it's because I think of this later. I don't know why it's happening at the time, but it's probably because I'm actually inside it. And here again, I have run into another train. This time I pick up a full health train, and I'll deal with the other one later. So we're kind of going along. This time I try to be a little bit more cautious in following the trains, so that I can get to the next part of my mission today. I notice, why is this copper backed up? And it's because that one wagon was full, so I change it to move out on having an inactivity of 5 seconds. I know that it's not balanced between cars, but that's not the point of that outpost. It's just to kind of empty out those particular little tiny bits of ore. Now over here I decide to mine that little copper patch to the west, and to that end, oh, there's our base being attacked. I decide to just kind of go around and basically harvest any of the miners that are finished. So here I'm going to connect up that western copper field, and I go over here and basically just grab the blueprints that we need so that I can get it sorted out. Here we go, placing them down, having the robots insert all the modules and stuff, connect it up to power, and then we start and get the splitters going so that we can get this thing moved along. I just bring the belt along. Luckily, we're kind of in a good spot, so we could go right underneath that roboport and bring the belts up and over, and it's connected. Boom, and done. Alright, so I remember there's all kinds of ore fields that need my attention, so here I go checking along and kind of wondering, why are none of these done? There's only like 1 or 2 that might be done, and just kind of looking at them, it's like, alright, let's check them out. And then I go to the station, and lo and behold, there is a mixed train, and I'm looking at it, it's like, why? And then I realize these are the tiny particles from that one time where we had a miner accidentally overlapping some copper bits. I know a lot of you commented on that to me, and thank you very much for doing that. I didn't apparently get all the little bits of copper off, so I basically I clear them out so that the train can go and the miners can start actually being productive again. Here I'm just taking some of these miners out, recycling them, and robots are chasing me to take all the garbage, the detritus from my inventory that I've designated as trash. So here I am going back up to this little patch, inserting the modules that I have, and then we kind of need to look at power, because I've noticed that the power is in a horrendous state. I go ahead and fuel up my train, and lo and behold, the robot starts repairing me, which is really nice. I no longer have this poor handicapped train that's like kind of on its last legs. One more crash will send it into oblivion, and possibly me with it, depending on how the crash goes. So I go up and I decide to go and plant down some more solar panels in this northern area. You can see stuff was blinking red. This is a severe, severe power crisis in the base here. I notice I have missed an oil patch here, which is big news because I try to be pretty, you know, consistent about getting all the oil patches, but for some reason I missed it. Maybe it was because a power pole was there and I didn't see it, or what. I don't know why. But I reroute the pipes because I've noticed that they're going through these solar panels and it's kind of annoying. So I just kind of move them back and connect them up so that I can delete the ones in the middles of the panels and then just basically replace the panels so we can make have full benefit of this area allocated for solar panels. And the robots should start to go and build this. There we go, and as I'm going along I feel like I hit every single tree along the way. And I'm also noticing some bits where, you know, the panels don't fit fully. So I just add some little bits of electricity here and there, covering with the substation, so that it can just be more productive. And here I go with my 2x2 solar panel blueprint and just kind of plop it down everywhere it will fit. That's the whole strategy here. And I don't realize it now, but or as I'm playing, I should say, but I kind of misaligned this thing. This solar panel arrangement is mostly designed for basically reducing the amount of roboports, having them diagonally connected, basically reducing it by half. And this used to be much more important in 0.12.35, where roboports took a lot of drain. Even if they weren't servicing robots, they took a lot of drain and were very, very electricity intensive on your network. So this was a design that helped combat this, is by just deleting every other roboport and putting them kind of in a diagonal way. Here I've found this lovely copper patch and I just align them right underneath it. And I'm also aligning these roboports 2 spaces away from the track, because I don't want to get killed if I have to run on that side of the road. This roboport in the middle is just to kind of connect the networks when the robots finally get around to building them. Here I find some funky diagonal tracks from goodness knows what part of the history of my factory. It's been going on a long, long time, so I have no idea how those even got there. These panels ended up way too far over the tracks, so I just delete those bits and put a singular one over here. I walk down here, and so I start again on adding these solar panels, just huge, huge grids of them. Put another connection point right there in the middle of the tracks, so that all of the panels can be built in a continuous network. So I'm not bothered about building over that coal. We have so much coal in the base and around, I'm really not concerned about it at all. I am deleting the construction shadows off of large copper and iron patches just because those are more valuable resources to us. I guess I could build over them and then delete them later and just sort of recycle the panels, but I don't know, it just feels better and sort of more respectful, I guess, to just, you know, kind of skip building on them and leave them in their glory of ore patchiness, as sort of rounded as they are, and have these solar panels go around them. I'm really not bothered about teeny tiny patches like that iron that I just built over here. This is not in my interest. I probably won't mind that. It's maybe if it was part of a bigger field of several patches, maybe I would do it, but as it is, not so much. I have this problem where I just start getting attacked by a worm, and I'm like, what the heck's happening? And here I get stuck in the trees as well, and instead of helping me, my robots are picking every tree that's not even near me. So I had a bit of a struggle trying to get out of there. And it comes to a point where my inventory is absolutely filled with wood. So I go ahead and just ignore my robots for now, because they can't insert the wood in my inventory anyway. So I just go and plop some more panels down. Here I am clearing that copper patch, and just every now and again switching to my singular panel array blueprint where it's desirable, basically. And here I'm just trying to make best use of space in getting these panels aligned and just preserving little bits of room so I can run in between. And I notice, I'm just looking at how many panels we have. 58,000 panels. That is a lot of panels. And basically I was trying to determine, I mean, are we short on panels? Are we short on accumulators, or both? And it turns out we are short on both. And I look here and wonder, why is this one not built? And it turns out it's not connected to the network, which is kind of annoying to me. I set it for deconstruction to take all the wood out of my inventory and go back up and see how it goes, and nothing is happening. So I wait around for a little bit while the base robots start clearing the bits and pieces, but then eventually I decide to go ahead and delete it myself because, yeah, it's never going to get done otherwise. And we do need those banks of accumulators on the left built. I don't notice, and I really should have, that those banks are not fully within the construction zone. So I'll have to go and check on that in between episodes to get those kind of final corners sorted out. So I decided to take the train back to the base. I dump out my wood and stuff in the box. I guess I didn't need to. But it's good. I try to be a little bit more cautious going along the track. But anyway, I'm just kind of standing on this sidewalk and waiting for stuff to get delivered to me. Mostly I'm waiting for a pump jack to replace that missing one. Here I am kind of looking at red circuits and trying to decide, where do I want to put them? Should I bring them up on the bus? Because this episode was supposed to be about building a red circuit making outpost and station. But eventually I decide, you know, those red circuits are really functioning pretty well in the base. And so I think I'm going to leave them there because we're going to need them for modules. And they're feeding pretty well. It's not a high priority thing, so I don't really care if they don't get all the plastic they need. They're basically just producing modules. That's the most important thing. And here I am causing additional destruction of the other trains. And here's an interesting part where all I want to do is repair stuff and get my robots back, but I cause an item bomb because I accidentally left click on my armor instead of right clicking. That's one of the things you can do, is take off all your roboports to get your robots coming back. Basically disperse them into the network so you can start over with a new set of robots, a new set of instructions. But I clicked the wrong button, and so all of my destroyer combat robots get spread all over the place, as well as poison capsules and stuff like that. Here I am just connecting up that pump jack. Somehow I missed that spot, so here it's going to go, and just kind of connecting the pipes up again and getting that sorted out so we have a new well functioning. Putting in the speed beacons to get that flowing a little bit more smoothly. So now I'm going back down to the base, or ish where I want to go. It's actually south of the base. We're going to the spot where we want to start red circuit production in an outpost. So I get out of the train here and start basically preparing the area. And my whole thing for this, I knew this was going to be a maintenance episode, and so I thought, oh, I'm just going to clear the area. And then I start remembering some stuff, and here I am I'm just waiting for the bots to clear the trees. And one good thing about having this sidewalk that's just to the east of me is that I can just walk on it and go ahead and distribute my trees into the world. Here I am again, too much wood, but I know that if I'm on this sidewalk, the bots know where to find me. I also have a provider chest, an active provider that I can just dump stuff in whenever I want to, and it'll get carried back to the base. So I'm just clearing this area for production of red circuits. So I start off with I need to make a parking lot. That's my desire for the first thing here. And somebody on Discord, and I think it was Metallica, he showed me an interesting screenshot of a diagonal parking lot where you don't have to space the tracks far at all apart, and it saves space, I think, compared to the ones where you have to sort of have a whole space in between for signals. This one, you can place the tracks very, very close, as you see, and you can just, it's really a handy setup. So here I am just kind of putting the tracks along here and making this parking lot. I'm just making it 6 big. It's not really critical how long, how many tracks there are. I could add a bunch more with this kind of space saving. But anyway, that's what I wanted to do there, is just making this very compact parking lot. And thank you so much for that suggestion. I really appreciate that. We are having some really cool discussions in Discord, and I invite everybody to join. It's been a lot of fun so far, and we have a really nice community. So anyway, I want to make the station. So here I'm just collecting, recycling miners as I'm going up. And the most recent station I've built that fits the profile of exactly what I want is plastic. Yay! So I just take the short walk up north and collect a blueprint and go back down so that I can repurpose it for red circuits. So I kind of decide, how do I want it, where do I want it, and then I say, oh, okay, there, we already have part of a curve on that outgoing line here, so I'm just going to connect it from there. And of course, the track thing is a little bit iffy sometimes, but it works, and this is how I align the thing, which is really nice. And so my robots get to work and doing this. Now, all of this station building is supposed to be on a non-time-lapse episode, but I just got so excited in playing, I thought, let's just do this. Let's just make the thing and start on it. And at some point I realized it's like, oh, I should probably stop soon. I go ahead and just connect this bits of track up, and then I just kind of, it's like, I should just kind of finish up, get signals, do all those little bits that you don't want to forget later. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care of yourselves and each other. I'll see you next time.